How to care for fire-belly newts. Please watch video end because more important details provide by animals graph. Fire-belly newts are one of the best amphibian pets for any beginner. They're neat-looking, cute, readily available, and affordable. They truly are a great pet for any beginner to the aquarium world. However, newts also present a challenge to pet owners. They live a long time. They can live from 5 to 10 years on average, and up to 30 years if you care for them properly. As an animal with such a long lifespan can truly be a lifelong companion, you should do everything in your power to make sure your newt friend has a safe and healthy environment to live in. Purchase an aquarium. Your aquarium will house the environment that your newt will live in. There are several things you should consider when getting an aquarium, including the size and the number of newts you will house. Don't use anything smaller than a 10-gallon aquarium. It is highly recommended that you house 2 newts together. You can safely house 4 newts together in a 20-gallon aquarium. The larger your aquarium, the happier your newts will be. Create a proper water-land split in your tank. Fire-bellied newts are semi-aquatic and require both land and water in their habitat. Make sure that you create a proper environment that includes both in order for your newts to thrive. The area in your tank should consist of 70% water and 30% land. One option island to divide up your tank and build your habitat by creating a partition so that 70% of the surface is water and 30% is land. If you have a partition, make sure you have a ramp so your newts can climb onto the land. Another option is to slope your land, gravel or other matter, into the water so that the newts can climb onto the land via the slope. Another option is to have 100% water but make sure that 30% of the surface is covered by floating islands and other structures that your newts can rest on. Line the bottom of your aquarium with large gravel. Gravel is a great material to line the bottom of your aquarium. Round gravel will help simulate round rocks found in rivers and creeks in the newt's native environment. But there are also other reasons to use gravel. It will keep your sediment down and help promote clarity in your water. Large gravel will be too big for your newt to accidentally eat. When wet, gravel is slick and your newt won't be able to cut or injure itself on it. Prepare a burrowing substrate, if you want. Burrowing substrate is ground material that will enable your newt to burrow within the land just as they would do in the wild. Allowing your newt to live like it would in the wild is extremely important in maintaining your newt's health and happiness. Consider putting your substrate atop large gravel if you are dividing your tank or if you are creating a slope for the newt to crawl from the water to the land portion. Common materials might include peat moss, sphagnum moss, cocoa husk, orchid bark chips and more. Consult your local pet stores for ideas or for a pre-mixed bag of substrate. Do not use regular soil. Make sure any material you'd use does not include any chemical additives or fertilizers. Ensure that you have enough water. Since newts are semi-aquatic, the water portion of your aquarium will be where they spend a lot of their time. You need to make sure that you have enough water for your newts to make sure they stay healthy and fit. Your water should be at least 10 inches deep. 35 centimeters water should be at least 70% of the surface area of your tank. Your newts should have plenty of room to move around under the water. Fill your aquarium with plants. Your newts need a nice environment that simulates the environment they'd have in the wild. To do this, you need to populate your aquarium with plants. Consider terrestrial plants like ferns, mosses, and bamboo. Aquatic plants like Egeria and Amazon sword. Other plants native to the newt's native environment. You can also use fake plants as a substitute for real plants. Recruit your newts. There are 2 types of common fire-bellied newts, the Japanese newt, and the Chinese newt. The newts are very similar but differ somewhat. Pick one species of newt. Try not to mix and match. The Japanese newt is somewhat larger, 3.5 inches to 5 inches in length at maturity, whereas the Chinese newt is a little smaller, 3 inches to 4 inches at maturity. The Japanese newt has a speckled red-orange pattern on its belly, whereas the Chinese newt's belly is more of an orange color. The Japanese newt has a rough or bumpy texture to its skin, whereas the Chinese newt has a smooth texture to its skin. The Chinese newt's tail is round at the end.